the Ministry of Electronics of India for funding of joint projects in applied areas of research, which would include semiconductors, next generation communication, cyber security, green technologies, intelligent transport system, etc. Technology space then also continues into defense, where one of the landmark announcements done earlier this morning by GE was the signing of an MOU with HAL for production of GE 414 aero engine for the India's light combat aircraft. There was also an announcement on India-US Defense Industrial Cooperation Roadmap, which also has a heavy segment of technology. There are then technology-related announcements in the field of energy. There are good 6-7 of them. So if you put them all together, you will find that very clearly technology, in particular advanced technology, across various domains, whether it is the defense domain, whether it is in the area of space or other domains, it has been one of the most important outcomes, substantive outcomes from the visit and from the discussions between the leaders. Besides the technology-related segment, another area of important outcome has been people-to-people ties. This finds manifestation in a decision by the US side, and both India and US have agreed that US will start the process to open 2 new consulates in India, one in Ahmedabad, one in Bengaluru. India will open its consulate in Seattle and 2 other places which are to be determined later. Defense has been another important area of significant outcomes during this visit. One element of it which I've highlighted is the agreement to produce GE 414 engine. The other elements include India's plan to procure MQ-9B Reaper drones from the US. There have also been some decisions and announcements with regard to placement of defense personnel in each other's facilities to better understand different systems and their operations. We have also announced commencement of negotiations with the US Department of Defense for concluding a security of supply arrangement, as also discussions on the reciprocal defense procurement agreement. Energy, as I mentioned earlier on, is another area where we have seen significant and considerable number of outcomes, and these are all available for you to see in the joint statement. Trade has also been another focus area of priority discussions between the 2 countries, and that also featured in today's discussion. Now, one of the key elements in this has been that out of the 7 WTO disputes between India and the US, there has been a resolution for 6 of the outstanding WTO disputes. There have also been cooperative understandings with regard to upskilling of employees, arrangements between the US Small Business Administration and the Indian Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, announcements of substantial investments by companies like Boeing, 100 million in this case, on infrastructure and programs to train pilots in India, etc. So a fairly important set of announcements. Space, that has been another area which has seen important outcomes being announced today. The one in particular needs mention is the signing by India. Ambassador Sandhu signed it yesterday, is Artemis Accords. India has become signatory to the Artemis Accords, which would essentially open up a new area of partnership between Indian Space Research Organization and NASA and other relevant entities for cooperation in the field of outer space, in particular relating to exploration initiatives on Moon and other outer space objects. The other important segment which I should highlight is India's decision and the US welcome of that decision for us to join the Mineral Security Partnership, which essentially opens up opportunities for India and the US to cooperate in this entire field of critical minerals, which is so important for strategic new industries coming up in the field of electric mobility, energy transition, in particular green transition, etc. So if you were to, if I was to kind of wrap it up in some sense, you will find, expressions of these key elements of day 2 of Prime Minister's visit and also his engagements yesterday reflected in multiple statements by Prime Minister today, including in particular his congressional address. So Prime Minister spoke of in this visit a new chapter of relations. He spoke of new direction and energy. 3, he emphasized on the strong and futuristic partnership. 4, resilient supply chains was an important aspect which he mentioned in his statements. Mutual trust and shared strategic priorities. Friendship between the two leaders, the Leadership Connect, which has been one of the principal drivers of such a rapid and large set of achievements that we have managed to register in the relationship. And again, a Leadership Connect, a friendship, which is not just for the benefit of 2 of our countries, but is also something which is very, very relevant for the entire humankind and the global peace. The strong strategic partnership, the strong Leadership Connect, President Biden himself mentioned that both India and US have democracy in their DNA, is a proof essentially of the power of democracy, of the value-based relationship, but a value-based relationship which also delivers for the respective countries as also for the relationship. And you find expressions of these sentiments in these substantive outcomes which I have listed. So a visit which has been extremely rich on form, but equally, if not more rich on substance. I listed out some of it for you. Discussions, achievements, outcomes, focused not just on the individual items, but also focused on how those outcomes need to be achieved in a value-based framework. Working in this value-based framework on different aspects, the 2 leaders sketched their vision of the relationship, which, as I said, is pathway for a future cooperation and the convergence of strategic interest. The 2 also, working in this value system and vision, spoke of the need to listen to the voices, other voices which are there in the world for their own benefit.
तो यहाँ वॉशिंगटन में विदेश मंत्रालय की तरफ से जो प्रेस ब्रीफिंग चल रही है उसमें जो प्रधानमंत्री का ये अमेरिका दौरा है उसको बेहद सार्थक बताया और यहाँ कई अहम बातें यहाँ पर बताई गई हैं कि एरोस्पेस और HAL के बीच MOU जो है साइन हुआ है, जिसमें कि भारत में फाइटर जेट इंजन बनाएगी अब GE और HAL के साथ समझौते की पुष्टि GE ने की है। आपको बता दें अहमदाबाद और बेंगलुरु में US का कॉन्सुलेट बनेगा, वहीं पर सिएटल में भारत का कॉन्सुलेट बनेगा। इसके अलावा 2 अन्य स्थान और जगह हैं जहां पर भी वो कॉन्सुलेट भारत का बनाया जाएगा, जो बाद में डिसाइड किए जाएंगे। इसके अलावा पीपल टू पीपल कॉन्टैक्ट बढ़ाने पर यहाँ पर बातचीत हुई है, सहमति बनी है। स्पेस मिनरल सिक्योरिटी पर भी यहाँ पर चर्चा हुई है और बताया गया है कि दोनों देशों के बीच जो रिश्ते हैं वो एक नया अध्याय उसकी शुरुआत हो रही है और न सिर्फ भारत और अमेरिका बल्कि एक ग्लोबल पीस के लिए भी ये संबंध बेहद अहम है।